El mejor libra por libra, baby. Quality control with Jermo G. Quality control, nos fuimos al lead. Quality control, you know my G. Quality control.
Saludos familia, estamos aquí en Quality Control con Jermo y nuestra primera invitada especial, our very first guest in Quality Control, Nova Child.
Hi.
Aplauso.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Bienvenida, bienvenida. We are honored to have you here today. La vamos a pasar súper cabrón porque tenemos preguntas, queremos conocerte, queremos saber de ti. We want to know you.
Okay.
All right. So, quiero que primero que nada me cuentes cómo empezó tu journey
Okay.
as an artist. You know, like I know that you was born in Massachusetts and moved here at a very early age. So I don't know what that age is. So start from there.
Okay, well, shit. I moved here when I was like 4.5 years old. And honestly, I've always been a really smart kid, right? I started school really, really early. My family's always played music. I mean, we're Puerto Rican, right? You know, I've always been surrounded by listening to salsa, reggaeton, bachata, de todo. And I just always loved dancing and just being surrounded by that. And I remember starting elementary school, right? And the teachers would bring us around the band classes. The school that I went to actually had a really good music program. Okay. And the band teachers were actual musicians, right? And they were very strict, but they taught us how to play instruments at a very, very young age. And I honestly fell in love with being able to create music, right? To be able to hit the drums and make a nice beat, play the guitar and a nice melody come out. It was just like, it was something that was so addicting. It created an adrenaline inside of me that I just wanted to keep going. So from there, I just kept putting myself in band and in chorus. I started musical theater. And then when I graduated, I sat down and I was like, damn, well, what do I do now? And actually, I was in a really tough spot in my life. I'm not going to hold you. And I was listening a lot to Lil Peep. And at that time, his documentary came out. And I seen how he started making music, how it was just him and a bunch of friends and some website that he found. And he kept messing with it. And then he started making music. I said, you know what, if you could do it, I can too. And so that's exactly what I did. I downloaded BandLab on my phone. I made my first little beat, made my first little song. It sounds terrible, but I did it and I kept pushing. Hell yeah.
But did you grow up with both of your parents or just one?
I only grew up with my mom.
Your mom.
Shout out to her. She's a hardworking woman. You know, at the time she had 4 kids, now she got 6. And, you know, she does everything to make sure that we're okay, that we're still following our dreams. She's very strict, but she got to. You got to. She got boys and girls. Exactly, you know.
Yeah.
But, geez.
I mean, I had that problem too in the sense that I grew up with a broken parentship. Like, how do you...
Broken home.
A broken home,
yeah.
Right? So it was like a lot of back and forth every other weekend, or sometimes, like, it's tough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but at least I still had a father growing up. He was present in my life. So I can only imagine not having that father figure, in the sense that, a mother's role is different than a father's role. And a father's gonna teach you different things from your mother, and they're gonna love you different from your mother.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that you miss on as a child. To me, I remember not having my parents on a baseball game or a basketball game. My support system was broken.
Yeah.
I had parents, but my support system was not consistent. I could have it today, not tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
So growing up like that is like, it's tough. And another thing is, like, what's your favorite instrument?
My favorite instrument is definitely the guitar.
I wanted to learn the guitar so bad.
Yo.
And I downloaded this music called Musician.
Musician?
And I was learning that she was literally working.
It's cool. It does. It shows you, yeah.
It was fucking working. And I'm like, damn, man. I could learn how to play a guitar, but I don't know. Like, I could never find myself having time to sit down and it's something that I want to do at some point.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful instrument.
But it's like being able to play a song and with your hands is crazy.
It's like a drug, I swear. It's like a drug. It's so addicting. I used to play when I was, I want to say like 9, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
And I let go of it because obviously, like, I didn't grow up with the most money. I grew up poor, okay?
Yeah.
So my mom couldn't really afford the instruments, and that's okay, right? So everything I did was through school, and I'm so thankful for that. But I had to let go of it for a little bit, but I did recently buy myself a little starter guitar, a little acoustic. And every time I get the chance, I do pick it up, and I do want to get back into it because it's a beautiful instrument. I think it's gorgeous. I like me a good string instrument. There's guitar, harp, banjo, everything. Love me good string.
You love, man, I love live music. Like, I love live music. Like, I went to this fucking rock concerts are the best thing.
Yep.
Like, that should be wild in there. It's like when they get on stage, and this is something that I understood, that what being a rock star means. Like, these motherfuckers get on stage and they take over. Like, they do some crazy shit just to entertain you. I'm talking about hitting TVs, making themselves bleed, running.
Crazy.
And it's like, damn, man, like, that much commitment to the character is like, damn, that is being a fucking rock star.
And the energy.
They could do whatever the fuck they want on that stage.
Yep.
Like, they own the stage, and places love it, bro. And then when they dance, they swinging at each other, throwing punches and shit, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, but that's how it should be though with every artist. You feel me? When you get on that stage, it's yours. That's your home. That's your bubble. That's your energy. You feel me? What you bring forward is how the crowd's gonna react. You feel me? So I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that's definitely very important.
I was telling my cousin, like, because my cousin was one of the I think they call it bass players.
Okay.
And I'm like, bro, like, you don't understand. I don't think you really understand what just happened. Like, you a rock star.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's fire.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's amazing.
But I don't think people realize that shit. Like, when you go out there and you perform and you do your thing, you're an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not just, you are somebody else. Like for example, why Nova Child?
Oh God. Nova Child, I love the universe. I love the stars. I love the moon. I'm very spiritual in that sense. I love it. And so I wanted something that represented me the most, right? So
what does Nova mean though?
Nova means stars, right? So a nova is actually a short term for supernova, right? Okay. And a supernova is an explosion of a star, right? And when a star explodes, it actually creates something called a nebula. And a whole bunch of other baby stars start to be born, right? And so at the time, I was still starting out. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what a lease was. I'd never stepped foot in the studio, right? I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I was actually sitting, me and my sister shared a room at the time, and we were just laying next to each other. I'm like, Nani, because we call her Nani. I'm like, Nani, I don't know what to name myself. I don't want to go by my real name because, like, my real name is beautiful, but there's already an artist that's very famous that has a name very similar to my name, and I didn't want to get that mixed up. So we were just sitting there like, okay, what? I'm like, Nova. I'm like, nah, that's weird. Nova what? Nova Star? I'm like, no, that's weird. I said Nova Child. I was like, nah, that's weird. My sister's like, hold on, I like that. And I was like, Nova Child? She's like, yeah, just listen. She's like, Nova Child just came out with a new song. Nova Child. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. So I made up my name, but my name wouldn't have been my name if my sister didn't tell me to stick with it.
She played it up like it's coming on the radio, like Nova Child drops her next track.
It rung a bell to it. I liked it.
Nova Child.
I was like, all right, I guess we'll go by Nova. But I really do like the name Nova Child. I like it a lot. But remember, everyone got to keep in mind, Nova Child is just a child, right? She gonna grow soon, so just be.
I mean, but we got the little Waynes, we got the little Wows, you know, like.
All I'm gonna say is that Nova Child about to grow up real soon. Nova finna be Nova something else.
You could go like Nova Child 2.0. You know?
What? You know
what like,
I ain't trying to say too much, but just know something new is coming. So just be ready.
Let me ask you this though: Who was like your inspiration, like to become an artist? Like who inspired you?
Wow, it's a lot of people.
Like if you would have to say like the main factor of, like, for example, me, I had this Spanish rapper, you probably heard of him, His name is Polaco.
Okay.
Right? He inspired me to be an artist. You know, because I used to listen to his music. He inspired me.
Okay.
So that was my, like, you always got your people that, you know, you look up to or whatever, but artistically, creatively, who was your inspiration?
Okay, that's a tough question because, again, I do have my inspiration when it comes to music. Wow, that's a very hard question. My inspiration comes from a lot of different artists.
Okay.
But the artist that really like
stands out,
made me want to like actually start for real, like, oh, I could do this, was Little Peep, right? Because he came from nothing. Well, I don't want to say he came from nothing, but he did. He started from zero, and like I said, watching his documentary, I could physically see like, oh.
Where is he from?
I think he was from Long Island.
Long Island?
Yeah. But the artists that I do take inspiration from to this day, like if I'm stuck and I'm listening to a song or I'm writing a song and I'm like, I don't know how to go about this, I go to Ñengo. Ñengo. I do take a lot of inspiration from him. And as well as, like we was talking earlier, the more like the old school kind of type of music, Lloyd, Sierra. I love that type of music. I love 90s Y2K, Raquel, Stevie B. I like that pop, that hip hop. That I really do like that. And it's really my goal to bring it back, but with like a modern twist, right? So people understand, like one of my oldest, not my oldest song, one of the newest songs that I just came out with Dylan and Eli Starr is Internalized. You guys can find it on all platforms, by the way. And there it's like a boom bop, like hip hop, like pop kind of mix. And I brought in, if you pay attention to the lyrics, I was talking about swag, but then I reverted it and I started talking about aura. Swagger don't stop, aura incredible. Because now I know people from the early age, people around our age, they're gonna know, hey, like she got that swag. But the kids from this generation were like, what is that? So now they know, hey, that's that aura. Her aura is fire. Her swag is fire. So I'm trying to bring it back, but for the kids to understand it. Because I feel like at that time, music was the best, in my opinion. Nowadays, I feel like people are too vulgar. People are just too like upfront, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call out, but I don't want to hear nothing about your booty hole being brown or none of that stuff. I don't like that. Like, that's just so inappropriate. It's just, I don't want to hear that. You know, but I'd rather listen to something that it's like, you know, something that you can lay back. You know what they're talking about, but you know, like your child not gonna know what they're talking about because they're not just saying it like that.
Me mencionaste a Ñengo, que te gusta la manera en que compone. ¿Qué específicamente te gusta como él fluye?
The diversity. The diversity.
Okay.
I love it completely. He does a lot of stuff that go against music theory, and it's inspiring. Right, so like I remember one time I got really stuck because I had found a beat that I really liked, but I didn't know how to approach it. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna listen to Ñengo. And I seen like, okay, how he'll do like a sub-chorus sometimes, and then add a verse, then the actual chorus, and then flip it around. Maybe he'll do verse, then chorus. Just the way they structure his songs. You feel me? And just like the ad-libs and everything. So sometimes that does inspire me. Like, oh, I can do that. You feel me? And other artists as well, like. One artist specifically that I really, really like, that's an English artist, is definitely like Georgia Smith, right? I like the way that she components her songs as well.
Georgia Smith?
Mm-hmm. She's very beautiful. She's from the UK. And same thing, Kali Uchis. I absolutely adore the way that she structures her songs, the way that she adds the boom pops and all that stuff, like on the jazz pop, but with a little like Colombian twist to it because that's where she's from, right? And I think it's just so cool that she's combining two different kinds of cultures and kind of genres of music. So stuff like that does inspire me because at the end of the day, you could do the same thing. You could follow music theory, but you're not going to stand out, right? You want to stand out.
You want to create your own sound.
Yeah.
Entonces, en comparación de antes, like, how did you start compose? Like, what was your way of composing music in the beginning compared to what it is now?
Very black and white. I used to stick to like a very like set structure, right? I felt like I needed to have the chorus first, right? I felt like I couldn't open up with a verse, right? Same thing. Like I was scared to rap. I don't know why. I was scared to rap. So I like kept sticking to like just singing and singing and singing because I felt like there's just so many rappers nowadays, right? So I was like, nah, I'm just not gonna do that.
But rap is like if you go rap, it's tough to hold you down because rap is like it's like the main art. Like not everybody can be a rapper. Not everybody can rap. Not everybody can sing either.
You're absolutely right.
So it goes hand in hand. Like, but if you could do both, that stands you out.
Thank you. Thank you.
But now, because for me, for example, the way that I used to compose was I would write and then rap it on a beat. But I find that the most effective way to compose is through melody. Because if you like, you listening to the song, right, and you go like, and you listen to the song and you just go like, and then you like form a pattern that goes with that beat. So you're just composing to the beat, right? So you flow much better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like it's a matter of just filling in the gaps with the translating the melody to a lyric. And since I started doing that, the results have been very good.
It does help.
Because every song is different.
Oh yeah.
Every song is like it's its own song.
The way I used to actually start writing the song, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about structurizing. Is I used to listen for a word. I like to compliment the producer.
Okay.
Right. So I still do it to this day. But I do add what you said, like just humbling a melody. I'm sorry.
Right.
But I used to just listen for a word, and like if I see the word cake, or if I see the word goodbye, or if I just keep hearing that word, I'll try to make a whole entire chorus structured around that one word, right? Because that's what I feel like the producer's trying to emit from this song. I feel like if you could compliment at least with the producer, the emotion that they put into the song, it'll heighten the song in itself, right? But that whole like mumbling thing, I used to not do that until recently. I used to actually be nervous to do that. And so I was like, you know what? I don't care because it does. You're right. It helps you with the flow.
I remember that Jay Willis said that.
Nicki Minaj, she does the same thing. When she goes into the studio, she just, and she'll record the melody. Then she'll go back and she'll write to it.
Most artists, a lot of artists do it nowadays.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Since you're very familiar with the reggaeton, the era of the Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, Teo Calderón, Ñengo, etc., give me your top 5.
From that aspect or just top 5 artists?
Top 5 artists from that.
Okay. Number 1, Ñengo. Hello.
Okay.
And we're talking only reggaeton artists?
It could be any urban artist.
Okay. So
any country. Okay.
So Ñengo's definitely my number 1.
Okay.
My number 2 favorite artist is they're not artists, they're a band. It's Cage the Elephant. I love them so much. I love them so much.
But they are Spanish or
They're American. They're American.
Okay, so let's give me your 5 urban.
Okay, so we got Ñengo. I like Cocuyuela.
So?
I like Farruko. Mike Towers, and Ñejo.
You like Ñejo?
I like Ñejo, yeah.
I didn't expect that. Yo, he's like old school. I remember when I used to listen to him when he was with Dalmada. Dalmada.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, look those. They got some fire ass songs. So.
No, my mama had me at a young age, and she's from PR. I was the first in my family to be born in America, right? And she was born in Bayamon but raised in Campanilla. Right. And I grew up listening to all that type of music. Like literally, like I remember being like 2-3 years old and she just bumping Ñejo, Daddy Yankee, all of them like throughout the house. Well, I'm right here in her little pouch and she's cleaning. So that's literally what I grew up listening to. So it just stuck with me.
Let me ask you this. What obstacles have you faced since you started in the industry? Like what do you think that has been the hardest? What has been your experience so far in the industry?
Honestly, the sexualization. And I hate to get so serious, but it's hard being a woman, as well as having to gain respect right? Starting out, it was really hard for me to just find an engineer because the guys I knew that made music didn't think that I seriously wanted to make music. Or they were just trying to get me in the studio, do whatever they do in the studio. And it's like, no. It's like, I want to do this because I literally want to do this, right? And it is hard sometimes for people to look at you seriously and not like look at you like a piece of meat and like treat you with the respect that you deserve, right? It sucks that I had to have a group of men behind me be like, no, you feel me? Like, this is an artist. Like, you don't treat her like an artist. You're not going to treat her like some little, excuse my language, like a little hoe out here or like a groupie because this is Nova Child. You feel me?
Exactly.
So that is one of the toughest things, but me being the way that I am, that goes away quickly.
No, I mean, it's a complicated, right? Because you're trying to be an artist, and it's like I learned not too long ago. Like, remember that day that I was filming you, right? And when my turn came, because this is the thing with like music. Like, if you're an artist, you're the artist,
right?
You're not the manager. You're not the camera person. So it's like, that's your role. So, for example, that day I wanted to film you because I needed the content for the video that I was doing. So when my turn came, people started walking out, and I couldn't understand why. So I thought about it later on that night. And I was like, they saw me filming.
And they seen you as a cameraman.
And they see me as a cameraman. So I was like, it happens, right?
Yeah.
But you learn from that in the sense that, I had to do it. So fuck it. It is what it is. But I understood that if we are in that scenario and that kind of platform, you gotta get the cameraman to do it.
Yep.
So it's like certain roles that if you take on, you're diminishing your artist role. And like you said, like you gotta demand respect, and like especially like that's why when I approached you in the sense that I need the content, but it's not gonna be anything crazy, so don't worry, because I would never, I would never ask somebody to wear certain things or do certain things.
And I appreciate that. Because the first thing I tell guys when they're like, oh, can you model for my shoot? I'm not shaking my ass.
Yeah, exactly. And because you're an artist. You're an artist. Yeah,
why would I lower myself, my standard, my image for your image? That's crazy. Because Nova Child doesn't make music like that. Nova Child doesn't make ass shaking music. Nova Child doesn't make trap music.
Right.
So why should I present myself like that in your music? That doesn't make sense to me.
So that day was very good. It was a very good lesson. With that being said, okay, so you said Ñengo, right? What was the other one? Cocuyuela.
Farruko, Mike Towers.
Ñengo. Y Ñengo. Top 5 de Nova Child. Ahora, if we were gonna do a top 5 American, give me a top 5.
Okay.
American or anything that has to do with English or whatever.
Number 1, Cage the Elephant, CTE.
Cage the Elephant.
Listen, if y'all watching this, bring me on tour, okay? I would love to. I love Cage the Elephant, all of it, especially their new album that just came out. Number 2, J. Cole. I like J. Cole.
I love J. Cole.
I love J. Cole. Number 3, we're gonna have to go with, I like Cuco. I like his music. He's Cuco. I should have added him to the urban one because he's Mexican, but he makes English pop / Spanglish music. He's very talented. He's someone that I've been listening to for a while.
You're giving me a few artists that I gotta look up to.
I like to listen to a lot of underground indie artists.
And it's crazy how many great artists are out there that we don't know about.
Oh yeah, and
like I've been introduced to some great artists from other people. You're like, yo, I never heard of this person. Like, and she got like millions of views, and I'm like, I never heard of her.
No, yeah.
Or him or whatever, So it's like,
personally, I took pride in listening to music that nobody knew. Because I love, I'm sorry, I'm a little selfish when it comes to my artists. When I find an artist that I really, really like,
you want to share?
I just want to grab them and put them in a box. All your music's mine.
So you take all the music, you could just go in there and dive in.
I love it. When it becomes overplayed, like I used to really like Billie Eilish. Before Billie Eilish was Billie Eilish. I knew Billie Eilish when she only had like 10,000 streams. You feel me? And I would be one of those streamers. And then when one of her songs blew up, everybody started listening to her music. And some of my favorite songs became annoying. I was like, ugh, now I can't. Like, I love her. Like, she's still good. She's very talented. She's cool. But, like, if you put her on, I'm going to tell you to take it off. Because I've been listening to those same songs for longer than what people knew.
Let me ask you, which is the artist that you cannot listen to? Like, if they put him on or her, they're like, yo, change it.
I got a couple. Number one right now, because she's pretty popular, is Sexy Red.
Sexy Red?
I'm so sorry. Take her off. Take her off. All due respect. She doing what she got to do. She up there. Congratulations. She could stay over there. I'm so sorry. All due respect. If you're watching this, all due respect. I just don't like your music. And then 6ix9ine. Oh my God.
6ix9ine.
Nope. And then what's that? The Baby? I think that's his name.
The Baby, yeah.
His music is so repetitive. Oh my God. It's like, do something different, please, with your life. And then what's that one new kid that just came out? I gotta go to school. I'm trying to grab a bag. He has like 6 songs with the same flow. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They're really blowing up.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
It's called marketing. That is the one thing that I have heard songs. Remember that Rihanna song, Grab, Grab, Grab,
Yeah.
Grab? Oh my God, I used to hate that fucking song because it was like the dumbest song literally like ever. Like, Grab, 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 Grab. But it was so catchy that after I heard it so much on the radio, I didn't even mind it anymore. It's like, you hear sometimes something so much that it bothers you in the beginning, and then your mind just like learns how to like it.
Yeah, because it's just like, you know what, whatever, it's there. You feel me? Like, I'll sing some songs that I don't like, and I'm like, ugh, I shouldn't even know the lyrics to this. I don't even like this.
But it's like that's what promotion do. Like,
yeah.
The more they put the product in front of you, the more you're gonna engage with it, because it's like it's there all the time. It's
almost forced on you.
Right. It pretty much is, because they promoting it, and then if you look at it, the algorithm sees that, then they send it another one. So it's like, I have tried to unfollow so many people that the content is not something that I like in the beginning, but then it's like they keep sending it to me because they know that I interact with it, even though I don't want to follow it. And then at the end of the day, you're back on that track.
Yep.
So the algorithm tends to get you. It's like the internet always wins, you know? So
that's definitely something that I need to practice myself as an artist, how to properly promote a lot more. Because it's important, like you said.
I think that the number one thing is that people think that posting and promoting is the same thing. And it's not. Like, if you're posting, your followers are going to see it, but nobody else is going to see it. So it's like promoting. You know, you gotta have a budget for that. You gotta do it consistently. You gotta have a rollout ready, content ready for weeks, if not months.
Yes, and it's a lot. Like, it doesn't, I feel like before I started making music, I used to think it would take forever for a song to be made. I mean, I realized I can make a song right now in 30 minutes.
Right.
But it's about, like you said, the rollout, the videos, the studio sessions, the promotion, then getting it out in all order, and then in a timely way, so you're not just shoving it all down someone's throat. They're taking it slowly. You feel me? That's what takes the longest time, but it's the most important. Like, I've had songs to where I just dropped right there, I got it there, and like no one really cared over it. And I've had songs where I promoted slowly over time, and they up there. Yeah. And I seen the difference.
Yeah, like when I dropped my EP back in March, that's when I really started experiencing, okay, it's just demanding, because you constantly gotta be making content. Like, music is not enough anymore. Now people want to see you, they want to get to know you. So it's like, that's to me, is the biggest obstacle for an artist, to know how to do all of these things. Because at the end of the day, you need a team. Like, I'm grateful that I have somebody that takes care of bookings and stuff, you know, and believes in the project to that extent, right? Because, like, if people are gonna be part of your circle, they gotta believe in what you're doing. You know, if they wanna help you, they gotta believe in what you're doing, because they're gonna be investing their time to help you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's overwhelming.
And it's very hard for an artist to focus on music if they gotta cover all of these bases. To me, it's like I get to sit down in the studio maybe. It doesn't happen every day because there's just not enough time. Like it's just a process. But as you grow and you have a team, you could start delegating these things.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can focus on the music because that's the content, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely
Without
right.
the music, you're not gonna really, you can create the best content, but if the music is not where it's supposed to be, then
no one's gonna listen.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Like I was listening to your song, I think it's called Telepathy, right? And I vibe with that song a lot because the beat was fire.
Thank you.
The lyrics were fire, and it was just a nice flow. Like I could tell that, like that's your type of music.
That was one of the first songs I've ever made, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song is fire.
Thank you.
I like the way that you flow. Like I heard her, like, yo, she sounds a little bit like, she gives me Willow Smith vibes.
Thank you.
Because I heard a song from Willow Smith not too long ago. That shit was fire. And I'm like, damn, like they're really involving as artists out there. Like you can hate on these kids all you want, but they're talented. Like they're both talented.
Thank you.
And but I heard that song and it gave me that vibe. So I was like, is that like the music that you like making, or what is your favorite type of music to make?
I want to say yes and I want to say no on that question.
Okay.
Right? So I really make music based off of how I feel. Right? At that time, not gonna hold you, I was crushing really, really bad on somebody. And if you hear the lyrics, you can tell I was. I could write you a love song now. Is it gonna be authentic? No. But I'm gonna make it a love song. It's gonna sound good. I've been making music for about 5 years now, so I know how to structure it, right? But I really do make music based on how I feel in that moment, right? As of recently, I've been leaning more into like melodic rap, right? Because I've tapped into that aspect of myself. I discovered that aspect, so I've been playing with that a lot. I'm playing with different flows, going from chorus to verse and stuff like that, because I'll have moments to where I'll make a song like Telepathy and then I'll want a verse to go a certain way. And let's say, example, I ask you, and you'll make a nice verse, but you'll make it the way that you want it to. Right. And the control freak in me is like, I don't want him to flow like that. But then I don't want to tell you as an artist to artist, like, nah, I don't like that. Like, although it's my song, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to make you feel like what you did was bad. Because it's good, it's just not what I wanted. Right?
Right. No, that's okay. I had a collaboration with another artist from Atlanta. Right, and the song was great, but he wanted to redo it. I guess because he wanted to execute it better, so he redid it, but he did a different version. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like the vibe was like, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just I thought the other version matched better with what I had. Right. That was something that. The first time that I heard it, I loved it. So I was like used to that. So when I heard something different, I was like, like it sounds good, dude. I'm not gonna say it sounds bad, but it's not matching for me.
That's something I'm starting to learn now recently.
But it really all depends how you express that to the artist. Like I told him like, yo, it sounds like I like it. I just think that the other version was a better fit.
Right. Yeah. It's how you approach it.
Like. He's very mature, so that to him wasn't anything offensive, but he took it like, I bet, no problem, it's your song, so we're gonna do it the way you want to do it.
As it should be. I shouldn't have to argue with you about my song. I've had times where I've had to sit there and be like, bro, who bought the studio session? You're
gonna be like, yo, all right, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta respect. If you ask me to feature on your song, I'm gonna try to compliment you the best way possible because it's your song and I'm just featuring in it. And I expect the same thing vice versa. But something that I am starting to learn now that I'm starting to work with so many different artists is that you can't collaborate with everybody.
Everybody, no.
Right? You're not going to see J. Cole collaborating with 3 Days Grace. You're not going to see a rapper collaborating with a hard rock band. It just doesn't sound right. Like you definitely can. But y'all gotta find a middle ground. Y'all can't stick to y'all genre, right? You can't sit here and try to make trap music and then they're over here trying to make like screamo music, and it's just like, that doesn't make sense. Somebody gotta give up something, right? So that's something that I also learned. And then with vocals as well, that's also something I've learned as well, because you could be a great artist But if your vocal range clashes with mine, our song could sound annoying because your voice may be higher than mine's, or my voice may be in the same range. So we might just sound the same. And it's like, well, who's singing here? Like, you don't even know, right? So that's something that I'm definitely starting to learn in the aspect of collaborating with other artists.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when they ask me, and because you're right, you can't collaborate with everybody. Like, for me to collaborate with you, I gotta see like you're about it. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, I'm not like, and I don't hold that against artists that just start and they want to get a featuring, or but I'm like, you just started, like, you gotta pay your dues a little bit, because it's only right in the beginning. Like, you're gonna be green, like, you're not gonna sound your best, so it's like you gotta develop a little bit first, and then you can position yourself because you're a little more ready. But it's like anything. Artist is a process. Like, the more you invest, the more you're gonna grow over time.
It definitely
so
is.
it's really about levels, honestly, because if I, like, for example, I have artists that are approaching me, I want to do a featuring, and then I listen to their music and I'm like, how am I gonna make this like like, it's just, there's levels, and it's like you gotta know when the artist sounds crisp, and when the artist sounds like he just started. And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's a process. That just means that we're in different levels process-wise.
And that's okay.
But that's all right.
Yeah. That's how you learn. Like me, for sure, like.
But I do feel bad having to say, like, no.
Because as a starting artist, it's
because
like,
I don't want to discourage them.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want to be the person to discourage them, but I went through that. You went through that.
But at the same time, you also don't want to be the person to encourage the wrong thing, right? So it circles back to how you were saying, like, it's about how you say it. It really is. You feel me?
It really is.
Yeah,
you gotta say it with, like, respect and grace, because you want to respect the process, but at the same time, like, yo, I'm just either not available right now, or it's not the best time to do it. Maybe later on it will be a better opportunity.
Right. Yeah. No,
so it's like, I think, like, music is really everything about timing. Like, music is strictly about timing. Like, as soon as you blow up, it's gonna be your time, and everything is gonna start falling apart. As if that opportunity comes to me the same way. It's like, there's gonna be times where it's gonna be your time, and then it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be your time, and you gotta wait maybe a little longer.
And that's perfectly
fine. But that's fine. That's just part of the process of music. And I think that's the part that people don't understand. Like, they think that they start doing music for a year and it doesn't work, they're like, I'm no good. No, it's not that. It's that you need to put more time. Like, I've been working at it consistently for about 5 years now to get to where I'm at.
That's amazing.
So within 5 years, this is my growth. So
cheers to that.
That only tells you that if you could do it for at least 5 years, you could already be in a good position. But it has to be a commitment consistently. Like, you can't stop, you can't retire and then come back 3 years later. Like, once you stop for a few months,
they're gonna forget about you.
The algorithm forgets, people forget, and you'll forget. Because you gotta start, like, again, it's like fitness. You start from zero, you're not gonna be who you used to be. You gotta get back in shape.
Exactly, yep.
So it's like any other art, and people don't understand that. Like, that's why you hear artists that come back to the studio a few months later and they can't get a session done.
Because they're rusty.
So,
and that's okay.
And it's all right, but at the same time, like, as an artist, you gotta recognize, like, I'm not ready for that artist yet, but maybe in a few months I'll be. Like, I know where I'm at. Like, if I'm gonna ask, because look, if you have a business proposition, and I present it to you, listen, this is my vision, this and that, this and that, this is what I gotta offer, blah 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 blah, right? Then you could go like, damn, I could get that. All I gotta do is this. Bam. It's like a negotiation. You're exchanging.
Exactly.
But we both gotta see the value in each other.
Yep.
I cannot see your value and then you not see mine.
Exactly.
So there has to be something of value in between for us to be like, all right, I'm willing to invest my time and all of this for this because this is gonna help me. Yeah. So I think that the artists gotta start thinking like that. Like, all right, how can I become an asset?
No, you're absolutely right.
Know, so
what can I bring to the table?
What can I bring to the table so I can negotiate? Yeah. Because if I had nothing to negotiate with, then I can't negotiate.
Exactly.
So it's like, this is why I tell people, like, listen, everything is great, but at the end of the day, you gotta focus on building a fan base. Because if you could bring 10, 15 people to a place, now they can see like, all right, she got people bringing in, she's bringing more money.
They're gonna invite you to more shows.
We're gonna invite you to more shows, and you might have to pay me. Yeah. Because now I'm bringing you 15, 20, 30 people.
You gotta cut that
so
percent.
You gotta start paying me, blah, blah. Like the freebies are over.
And that's the goal, really.
That's the goal.
The goal is to be able to fill up that room, and I'm no longer paying, or even you too, for us as artists to just no longer be paying to be in that spot. You pay me to be in that spot. Yeah. Right?
But you had to pay your dues to get there. Like this is the work. You got there because you did the work, and you covered as many bases as you could.
It's an investment, right? Yeah. Any business owner, any successful person in this world, anybody, call them up right now, and they're gonna tell you that they have to invest in what they're doing. They have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the equipment, the material, their suits, the whatever podcast or whatever PowerPoint or whatever it is that they need to sell. You feel me?
Yeah.
They need to invest into that. And then they're not going to see that rate. They're not going to reap the benefits for 5 to 10 years, right? So I went to cosmetology school, right? And one of the first things that they teach us is how to run a business. And they were very upfront about it. They're like, you're not going to see no money back in the first 5 years. Mm-hmm. Once you hit that 6th year, if you're not making money, if you don't see any movement, then you're not going to get nowhere. They said it real straight up. They're like, you gotta pivot at that point. You gotta do something different because what you're doing is not working. So you gotta add a slogan, maybe change your logo, maybe do something that will catch people's attention.
But you know something about business entrepreneurs, like people that go to work for themselves. And I respect that because I do that. And it's a big risk.
It is.
But at the same time, people think that they're doing enough. And maybe what they think is enough is not enough for the business. Mm-hmm. Because right now, if you're doing your own business, that means that you gotta take care of your accounting, promotion, all the bills that come with it, etc. Right? And you gotta do a certain promotion to bring people in because people need to hear and see you and see your work. People gotta see your work now.
Because now it's like, what are you doing it for? Yeah.
So it's like your hair, you're not gonna put your hair in anybody's hands.
No.
Right? So it's like you gotta be skilled and you gotta know what you're doing, but you also need to promote that.
Right.
So it takes time. Everything is a process. And people are very impatient.
Oh yeah.
And it's like if you're not willing to go through the process, this is how everything works in life. Like there's nothing in life that you're gonna do that doesn't require a process. Mm-hmm. How bad do you want to go through the process and how much you think you love this? Because people say, oh, I love it, but they're not putting in the work. So that means it's like, are you doing it because you're serious or you're doing it because it's just
a hobby? Right, exactly.
Something that I have fun with because it's not the same. It's like, all right, cool. But I'm not going to treat you with the same level of respect as an artist if you're not doing it like for real.
Yep, a tree's not going to grow in one day. And it's not going to grow at all if you don't water it. You feel me? Like you said, you got to be consistent. Do you want this tree to grow? Do you want to see the fruit? Are you going to water it? Are you going to visit it every day? Are you going to do what you got to do? Or are you just going to plant it and see what happens? You feel me? So you're absolutely right. It's all about the commitment, the promotion, being serious about it. I've done so much to be able to put towards my music. Like people at work ask me, they're like, oh, well, like, what do you like to do? Like, what's your inspiration? My music. Why are you here? For my music. Oh, like, you don't have bills? I do. And everything goes towards my music. I'd rather sleep in my car before I start making music. And that's just how serious I take it. Nice. Like, you can ask anybody in my life, I'll curse you out before you get in the way of my music. Because that's literally my passion. Like I said earlier, since I was 5 years old, this is something that's made me happy. No relationship, no drug, no alcohol, no nothing. makes me feel the way that music made me feel, right? And when I see people that got that same commitment, that got that same love, it's like, come on my side, let's work together. Because that's what you need. You need people that are living, breathing, everything, music.
Yeah, because look, you got a fan base, I got a fan base. So it's like we're tapping into each other's fan base.
Yeah.
You're offering me and I'm offering you.
Mm-hmm. And that's like, that middle ground you
yeah,
talking.
and it's like check her out, check me out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so it's like featurings are important, but at the same time it's like you said, there needs to be that level of respect between artists for the record to be meaningful. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like if you're really looking forward to collaborate with this artist, like yo, this song is gonna be fire, then you're gonna be more excited about it. But if it's an artist that you know is not on your level, and you know it's not something offensive, it's just what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's levels. You start here, you keep going up. It is what it is.
And that's okay.
That's okay. So it's like, you're not gonna be as excited. It wouldn't be as meaningful as if you were at the same level and you're still like, damn, this is gonna be a bomb collaboration. We need to do it. He has the fan base. We got the fan base. We could really benefit from this. That's when you get excited, when you see it and a real opportunity of growth. Right, when you're finally in a good position to be collaborating with artists that have an actual following that you could grab a fan base from. Yeah. But it takes time to get there. It takes time to get to that position. So it's like, you know, as an artist, it takes time. It's a process. So don't get discouraged. Don't get offended. It's just, you gotta pay your dues just like every other artist. I did it. She did it, and it takes time. So it's just part of the process. So don't get discouraged.
No, right? If anything, keep pushing. Make that more inspired. Like, make you inspired even more to prove everybody wrong that, you know, that you're great. You feel me?
Because when people doubt you, it's like, that's the worst feeling ever. When people doubt you and it's like, you can't do it, and it bothers you. Mm-hmm. It bothers you, and it's like, because sometimes it comes from your family, sometimes it comes from your close people, and it's like, it hurts to a certain extent, but at the same time, you understand that it's like winning the lottery. That's the way that they see it. Yeah. But it's really not.
It's about consistency.
It's about consistency and investing consistently and doing it consistently. And sooner or later, it's gonna connect you with someone that could take you places, or it's gonna get you to the right ears. It's just, you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking at you. And you gotta be very aware of who's who, because you could be talking to the next CEO of a company, in the sense like that person has pull wherever they, let's say there's a Def Jam executive you're talking to, you don't even know. Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. You could be talking to executive, important people, and you wouldn't even notice because you didn't take the time to research or get to know who might be at the event, for example.
But that's also why it's important to be authentic. Yeah. Right? To not be fake. You feel me? To always be yourself and the best version of yourself. Right? I'm not saying be like doing whatever, but as long as you're true to yourself and your art, everybody who's meant to be in your life is going to follow. Right? If you fake a facade and you fake your energy, you're going to attract people who don't really resonate with you. Que no te conviene. Right. Pero if you're authentic and you want to post this kind of music, pero nadie quiere escucharlo, the people who do, they're going to find you. You feel me? That's really what it comes down to, because a lot of these artists, they're fake. I'm not trying to say in a sense where like their personality, maybe their personality too, but body-wise, you know, like their lifestyles, everything, like they fake it. Like they trying to make it seem like, oh my goodness. But in reality, it's like what you really need, what society nowadays needs is authenticity. Right? Especially with the kids being so influential, right? Because social media is something that they have in their hands since they're like 2 years old, like all these tablet babies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, we don't want kids. Why is there 12-year-olds wearing like, you know, dressing up like they're 17, 18 years old? That makes no sense to me, but it's because of what they see on social media. We need more artists that influence the younger generations in a better way. We don't want no more BBLs. We don't want no more people singing about, you know, guns and violence. I mean, like, if you want to hear that, hear it. It's the truth. It's real stuff. But at the same time, it's like,
more the same.
Let's bring back some of the censoring, right? Because back then in the 90s, 2000s, they still rapped about it. But as a child, you don't know because you don't know that stuff, right? Yeah. Instead of outright saying like, oh yeah, this is what it is. It's like, come on now.
I mean, at the same time, that censoring has to be more from the parents because like it's not the artist's responsibility either to be like, oh, your son or your daughter can't hear me.
Right.
Like if you know that the label is there, you feel me? Like if you see the label, it's explicit.
No, that's
so
valid.
It's like at the same time I get it, but at the same time it's like it's your responsibility as well.
Right.
Like
it's just a lot harder.
I don't like parents that blame artists.
Oh no, yeah.
For how their kids are behaving. It's like, dude, like that's your child.
Yeah.
Like you're raising him. How are you blaming an artist or whatever?
I definitely do give it the media though, like it making it a lot harder just with school and just all that stuff. Just the media, just the way society is now. Right. I definitely see the aspects where it could be a little harder to shun your child from that type of stuff, right? Because they can easily go to school with a kid that has an iPhone and they can see stuff they're not supposed to see. Or let's say like
have a tablet at home and go on YouTube.
Or not even that. Some schools require kids to bring tablets to school because they don't use pen and paper no more. So it's like what they doing at school now? What if they go to the bus stop? So it's like as a parent, at least with today's society, it's just so much harder to be able to do stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's the artist's fault, but I just do feel like at the same time, just music nowadays has become just so much more gruesome. Yeah.
I think we have a certain responsibility. I'm not saying we're not responsible for anything, but yeah, like at some point you want to make any kind of music. Like you don't want to just make explicit music. You want to make commercial music. You want to do other genres that will allow you for your music to be more like commercial.
Yeah, it's like definitely
like because when you make commercial, I think it's the hardest.
Yes.
Because it's like nobody's doing it like that. And it's like, it's hard. It's just hard to come up with a bunch of words that doesn't sometimes you can't relate to the song because it's just not you. But if you know how to do that art, then you'll be able to access more fan base because your music is cleaner.
And that brings in the most compensation.
That makes the most money. But a lot of people don't, like the real fans are not gonna fuck with it too much. It's just like the outer. It's like more for attracting new fans than for the fans.
Like, do you know the jingle for McDonald's? The ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It was made by I think it was Justin Timberlake. It was one of the J's that are famous, and no one knows that. But just that little melody right there. That man is a millionaire. He don't gotta make music no more. That's why he don't make music no more.
Imagine owning the jingle to McDonald's, like the biggest fast food chain in the world.
You feel me? And that has no lyrics. So it's right. It's like it's something that you might not even resonate with. But that's where you're gonna get the most from. Especially nowadays, because we don't make CDs no more. No one's selling mixtapes. You don't get paid for streams. If you're not famous, you're not gonna get paid for a show either. So it's like it all has to go with royalties and placements. Placements is the biggest thing nowadays for artists. Getting placed either in a video ad, whether it be a game, a restaurant,
playlist,
anything, just a placement somewhere that comes with marketing. That's really the real goal for any artist nowadays.
Yeah, I think just like anything, you just gotta know the right people. Mm-hmm. Like if you know the right people, but again, these people have expectations and they have criteria. Like I could approach anybody right now because I have the content to do it.
Right.
Like I got music and I got everything you could ever ask me for.
You got the music quality, the camera
everything
quality.
Is there.
Yep.
So I could do that, but a lot of artists can't because they don't have it. So it's like you could be talented, right, and have good music, but if we gotta make all of that content for you, how much do we have to invest in you, and we don't even know if we're gonna get this shit back?
Right, exactly.
So they don't see a value, and you could be the most. This is why I say like this is not about who's the most talented and who has the most content.
Mm-hmm.
Because content is king now. Like
with everything.
Whoever tells me that they don't think that they should go online to grow their business is not living in the real world.
They're not. Mm-mm.
Like I have had debates about this with business owners, Like they'll sit there and tell you, "Oh no, we don't need to do internet stuff." And I'm like, "Are you out of your mind? Like, how much? Like you're telling me that going door by door, right? Office by office, offering your services doesn't take as many resources than you doing it from your computer." And you can reach the same results.
Yep, or
because
even more.
You're constantly, exactly, more, because you're gonna reach more people. And I used to tell, like, I used to work for this radiology place, right? And I used to tell them, like, yo, dude, if we have we had the only open MRI in the area. Like, period. Like, it was like, I'm like, why are we not marketing?
Yeah, promote it.
Like, why is there no videos about this shit? No, nothing on the social media, nothing. They had like the banners that they put on the highway. What do you call those?
The advertisements.
Yeah, but what do they call that? The
billboards.
Billboards.
Yeah.
They have billboards, right? And that's great, but it's not the same anymore.
No one reads that.
Like I could see it and know it, but I can't read and fucking drive on a highway.
Yeah, and take a picture. And
you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I saw. No, if that could work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, because it can work. Obviously, like if you have an artist billboard on a busy street, they gotta know your name,
right?
Because a lot of people pass by. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but baby, we need to see more. You know, we need to show more. Especially in a society that's so interactive. People need to see the content. Like, people are not going to see you. Like, Google reviews help and all of that. That helps a lot. But at the end of the day, people want to see you. And if you're not able to show, your growth is going to be slow. You might grow. Like, they were doing good, but they could have been doing better.
Yep.
Like, a lot better.
Because they could have touched people that didn't even drive.
And the frustration got to a point. Is like, yo, like, if you guys are not gonna give me the keys to the car, I can't drive, bro. Yeah. Like, if you're not gonna, I'm telling you that this is gonna work, because I know it works. This is what is running the world right now. I didn't want to hear it, so I was like, all right, Ben, then I gotta go. I gotta go, because I'm not gonna be able to grow here. We're gonna have discussions about when you're gonna raise my shit, and because I'm not getting the results you're looking for, but it's not mainly my fault. It's that you're not doing the marketing that is being done today. The marketing that you go office by office, that's great. That's great to have if you have certain accounts that need that certain attention. You go personally, but you can't attend everybody like that. Like, it's impossible.
It is, yeah.
It's impossible to grow fast using those methods. Because there are better tools. There are better tools available now to get more reach. So I felt like they had so much good shit to market, and I couldn't market it.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of people, they close their doors like that because they feel like, because they're either set in their own ways, or maybe because there's no quote unquote need for it, they close that old door, and that's just insane.
That to me is a lie, because if there is no need, right? Like, for example, if your business is doing okay, but it could do better, right? You're just getting by. The question is, like, do you want to do it so you don't have to get by? Or are you okay with just getting by? That really comes down to, like, what is your ambition level? Like, if you're just okay making the money you are making, and you're living a good life or whatever, and you're set up for that, then that's great. But if you want to make more, then that's the way to go. It's like content promotion. Because how other else are they going to know you? Like, you don't need to be on TV anymore. You don't need to be on the radio anymore.
You don't have to go out of your way like that.
You don't have to use those tools anymore.
And especially nowadays that everyone has their phone, right? Yeah. Like, it's coming to the point where all phones, like okay, I know Androids back then, they had a little. You
know what? The quality is changing, because now most viral videos are with a cell phone.
Yes. Have you seen the quality of the Samsung A23?
Yeah, the only ones that use these professional cameras are podcasts. Like, people that are doing movies and shit like that. Every other content is phones. Like you don't, like the quality doesn't need to be out there. It just needs to be interactional. Like and there needs to be engagement.
Yes. Yes, you are absolutely right. And you know, if you know how to use your device, then you could go very far. I shot videos on not my phone, but on the 13. I got the 15 right now. On the 13, that looked like it came from a professional camera. But it's all about if you know how to use your device. It's all about if you're willing to use it, right? The lighting, everything. If you want to learn your equipment. Some people, they don't want to learn anything, and you know that's terrible to me. You feel me? Once you decide that you've learned everything in life, then your life, for me, is over.
And you gotta, and another thing, like you gotta learn how to do other things. Like doing music is just not enough anymore. Like you need to learn how to take videos, take pictures, edit videos, all of that, because it will save you a whole lot of money. Yeah. Even though it's more time that you gotta invest, but at least you're constantly pumping out content. Whatever content. Yeah. Because people think that they gotta take great content. Like whatever. You got a picture, boom. You got a video, even if it's 5 seconds and it's like stupid shit that happened and you think it's funny, boom. Yeah. Because it's content. Like that's what you're giving people something every day. Every day. And not everybody can keep up with that rhythm. Like every day is tough. Yeah. Because sometimes you're not in the mood or whatever, but if you take the time to collect content,
then it won't be.
Then it won't be because you have content already there for weeks.
That's what I do personally.
I could take a day just to take content, pictures, videos, boom, different outfits, blah, blah, blah. And I have content for a few weeks.
Yeah, and then you don't got to worry about that.
You know, and you just start making flyers, videos, video lyrics. You got Canva, so it's like plug and play, boom, quick.
And that's it. Yep, you absolutely right.
So it's like, there's a lot of tools available, but I feel like artists that are not taking it serious don't think that they have to put the time on that. They just think it's music. And some of them don't want to adjust. Some of them just want to be like, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for this. But dude, if you don't pay for it, the quality is going to be shit. And when you, like, for example, this is what I always tell people. All right, so let's say that I have this song, right? And this song has a great thumbnail or a great cover or whatever, and this song has a bit whack ass shit. Which one are you most likely to listen to?
The great cover.
Exactly. So that right there proves that the cover matters. Yeah. Right? The cover matters because it reflects a certain type of professionalism, right? Like you could tell on a cover when you put in time in it, like you put time and thought. Right?
Exactly.
I like, yo, damn, this is fire. Like I like the details and all that. But you could see another cover, like they just took a picture and put
letters, threw it on there.
Letters and just boom. And you could tell like, damn, like, so it matters. Like every step of the process matters. From covers to sound to like promotional content, like everything matters because everything is part of the production. And it's like, if you don't cover all of the bases and treat it with the same love, you're not gonna have that level of professionalism when people look at you like, damn, this content is professional, everything is professional. All right, this artist is marketable now.
And you gotta look at it like a job, right? You're not gonna go to a job interview with sweatpants. You're not gonna go, when you set up your resume, are you just gonna throw it all on there? Or are you gonna set it up organized? You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Again, you know what to say, like you said, it's all about the professionality. You can't expect someone to hire you if you're looking crazy, right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand nowadays, where it's like at the end of the day, it's like
it's a business.
There is an image to it. There's definitely an image, but in behind that, like you said, there is a business. There's higher people looking at you like, okay, their stage presence, how they present themselves, like you said, their album covers. Like, what are you really doing to invest into yourself and your business and your brand?
They can see that when they look at the quality, they see your level of seriousness.
Exactly, yes.
So it's like, dude, all I gotta do is to see if you're really all about it is look at your content. Yep. And I'll be like, either I'm gonna be like, damn, that shit is out, or I'll be like, swipe. It's the reality because it happens all the time. You know, like, this is a business. Like, people are gonna look at you just like that.
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, can you make us money or not?
Right, exactly. Are you gonna do this or no?
You know, like that's the end result. Can you make money or not?
Mm-hmm. Are you profitable?
That's it. Are you gonna bring us business?
Mm-hmm.
Because then I have leverage to be like, yeah, well, you know, you can count on this, so I'm gonna need this.
Exactly. I got this lined up.
We're both happy at the end of the day, but there has to be that knowing, like, yo, we could fuck with Nova Child. She brings in people. She got it. She got fan base. Let's bring her in. Pool. We could get business. We could sell drinks.
Yeah.
And we'll build a whole business model around you.
Yeah, no, and
because you're gonna bring the entertainment, the music, the vibe.
Exactly. You know, you're gonna be able to compensate for the hard work because a lot of people don't see, like, it's hard getting the venue, selling the tickets, having someone in the front door making sure the tickets are sold, making sure that no one's doing nothing stupid, making sure that the drinks are, you know, like, watched. No one's just trying to grab, you know, it's a lot. So it's like a lot of people overlook the people that work in the background, the people that do the lighting, the people that does the editing or the mixing and all that stuff. Like, I feel like they should have more recognition. You know how, like, they have a Grammys for artists? They should have a Grammys for producers and engineers. Because I'll come with a great song and I'll go to one engineer and they made it trash. They mixed it so terribly and I want to shoot them. And then I'll go to the next person and they'll do phenomenal. They'll even add an extra cherry on top. And I'm like, oh, I can kiss you right now. The same thing with a producer.
I never experienced that. Like, I never had a producer where I went and he, like, trash and I'm like, damn. Oh no, wait, I did. But I didn't know why. I wasn't understanding why he was being trash. Like, cause I heard other artists and he was okay, but maybe it was the genre because the mixing is different. Like reggaeton, like urban mixing is different to American mixing. It's just a different mix. It definitely is. So maybe that's what it was. Like, he wasn't used to recording urban artists.
It's good to jump around engineers. That's something that I've learned, because once you find your engineer for that mixes your sound the best, of course, stick with them. But it's also good to jump from different engineers because those are other, like, ears, right? So, like, I've, like, sat down with engineers that, like, mix Drake, like, all the way out in Miami. You feel me? And I spent, like, me and my other artist friends, we spent a lot of money just to be in that studio, right? And the songs come out phenomenal. But this is what I'm saying. But same thing with like, I spent $40 with an engineer and it comes out even better, right? So it's like, it's good to hop around between mixes. It's good to have 3 versions of the same song, right? Which version you like mixed better? Because then it's like, it gives you room to be able to, like, okay, you know, here's the potential. Here's what I could do, you know, to never close that box. That's what I say. Don't ever close your box. Always keep an open mind when it comes to mixing. When it comes to producers, like I said, me and my friend D-Land, we recently hopped on a beat that both of us, like, never a day in our lives ever thought we would hop on, and we killed it. And so now it's like, wow, like, there's another genre we can play with now. We didn't even know we could do that.
Something interesting is that there's a lot of producers out there that we don't know that mix for, like, really big artists. And when you realize, you're like, God damn, that guy was next to me. And I didn't even know the whole time. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's when you start learning, like, yo, you gotta pay attention because you don't know he's next to you. You don't know who's looking at you. And it's like, I think it's important for artists to be aware of the game, what's going around, because it's like, if you cannot read the game, you're not gonna be able to see what's coming.
Yep, you're absolutely right. That's why I was I don't know if I touched it while we was on camera, but that's what I was saying earlier though. Like, I used to be the type of person where I really didn't care about an artist's life. Like, I like your music, but I don't care who you're dating, where you live, what you're doing, what's your favorite coffee, your color. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm not that kind of, like, you could be my favorite artist. Like I said, I love Ñengo. I probably mentioned him like 20 times in this podcast. I don't know nothing about him. I just know that I love his music.
What's your favorite song from Ñengo?
Baby Lover. En la noche fría también.
¿Es un trap?
No, it's a song.
¿Es reggaeton?
No, it's just a reggaeton, yeah.
Baby Lover, I haven't heard that one.
It was like, ven, baby lover, pa' que me enamore, quiero estar contigo, bebé. Cintura chiquita, naca grande y carita bonita, ready pa' formar desorden. I fuck with. That's the first song that I really fuck with.
My favorite song for him was his song with Polaco. es bien cafre, ¿sabes? Like
very, very edgy.
very, yeah. Pero decía hasta que te lo hunda más, perrea que yo te sol, algo así, hasta que lo hunda.
Tienes que mandármelo
Yo,
because I don't
that
think I've
song
heard of
is
that one.
fire,
I haven't
bro.
heard of that. I know you gotta send me that
But that
one.
was like his big, like probably his first hit.
Okay.
It was a featuring with Polaco. But that's the first time I ever heard him. And I was like, yo, that song is fire, bro. I was fucking with that hard. So what's next for Nova Child?
Definitely I am working on, I guess you could say, a rebrand. I don't want to get too much into detail about that, but just know something new is coming.
Lo que sí vi es que hiciste una colaboración con Goodfellas. Allá con JF, con el corillo de Goodfellas. Saludos a A-Trap, a Onasi, al viejo.
Shout out to the gang.
Estamos activos. ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia?
Amazing.
¿Cómo se portaron los muchachos?
Bien, están bien. No, they're really cool. I love them. They're very professional. You could tell they've been doing this for a long time. Honestly, they almost inspire me. I thought I was very into like my music and like die hard. Like these people made me realize that I gotta go harder. You feel me? I gotta do even harder. I gotta do even more. Right? But that's amazing. I love that. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, you gotta surround yourself people that are on the next level so that you could keep growing, so that you could be inspired, so you can learn better things, how to do things in a better way. But I love them. I think they're all so talented. Every single one of them. I think they're very talented. I think they're all superstars. It was an honor for me to be able to make some music with them. I can't wait until you guys hear some of the new songs that we got out that we're working on. It's exciting. It's exciting.
¿Qué aprendiste de esa experiencia? ¿Qué aprendiste de trabajar con ellos, de esa colaboración?
Honestly, I've learned to have my music ready, like to have that memorized, to have it done. Like something that I really, really like about just the Goodfellas in total, that they have a habit of just having their songs memorized. Like after like the first thought, like you can see that they get it done, right? And by the time they hit the studio, they don't need their phones, they don't need the lyrics, they don't need nothing.
Y el de Vaya, tampoco me olvidé de ti, disculpa, no me olvidé del Vaya, saludos. El de Vaya ahí.
Hey.
Con eso yo no jodo porque los de Bayamón.
En verdad, nosotros tenemos una canción que va a venir ahora.
Con los de Bayamón yo no quiero problemas.
No, con él no.
No queremos problemas.
No, nosotros tenemos una canción que va a venir ahora también. Un montón de cosas que ya tú vas a ver que un montón de cosas. Yo personalmente voy a venir con más música. So it's a lot of featuring, a lot of everything. I'm so excited for it.
What's the next song coming out?
Next song coming out is gonna be Money Hungry. I'm gonna drop it this month on November 28th. Mark your calendars. What
is it? A reggaeton or?
It's a rap. It's just it's really a remix, right? But I hopped on it because I had some things on my chest that I needed to say, and I let it out. And I didn't really think about dropping the song. I touched back on it. I took it back to the studio. I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give some love to this song. And I decided to drop it. So yes, that is one of the new songs coming out. But I am definitely actively working on a new song that I do want to come out the beginning of next year as well. I've been working on this song for a little bit, only because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. And what I want for this song is so specific. So I'm really taking my time on it. But I have a lot of music that's about to come out. Like, if y'all like my music now, y'all not ready for what's about to come out. Because everything that's out now is...
I just think like I remember when I used to go to the studio, my process was completely different now that I have that. Because now I don't have to worry about time.
Right.
Time is not my enemy anymore. I could take my time. I could flow with the beat. Mm-hmm. I could start from zero. I could do all of those things. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, at some point you gotta upgrade the sound. Yep. So at some point, I'm doing it now myself, so I could get to that position where somebody could hit my music and be like, all right, bro, this is marketable. Like, let's just upgrade the sound a little bit and we out.
Yeah.
So I got.
And that's an easy mix. So you can send that again, master.
After this pod, we're gonna hit the studio so I can show you a few joints.
Hell yeah! I would love to hear it. Yes.
that I want you to listen to.
Shit, we'll probably come out with a song after this. Y'all don't even know. What's up?
It's very possible. It's very possible. But I got even band music that I want you to listen to because I'm trying like.
I want to hear it all.
I'm diving into everything because I think that as artists you gotta keep evolving. You gotta try to keep changing your sound.
Yes.
Like your essence stays the same, but the sound is always changing. And it's like, all right, for example, we know that Jermo G could rap. We know that Jermo G could sing. We know that Jermo G could do anything because he's always challenging that
the next thing.
And it's like, it's never the same. Like, you're gonna be able to know with time that I could do a little bit of everything.
And that's how it should be. You feel me?
But I like your voice and band, like your Spanish. You know what I recommend for your Spanish? Start talking with people that only speak Spanish.
I need to, okay.
Because
I'm so surrounded by Americans.
It happened to me, bro. Like when I was in New York, I only spoke English. So I was losing touch with the Spanish. And that 4 years was hurting me because that's a big part of my...
your culture.
Not only my culture, but my identity.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like that's my root. That's where I came from. That's where I was born and raised. So when you start losing touch with that side, you lose a certain part of you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like when I got here, I got more in touch. And I started speaking more Spanish. Now I'm back to where I was at, and now even better. But if you don't, it's like anything. If you're not speaking it or if you're not using it, it's gonna get rusty.
Ahora with Tampa Urban Star, working with them, like you guys made me use my Spanish a lot more. Exactly. So like yo puedo hablar español lo más bien, lo entiendo lo más bien también. Yeah, es que no lo practico.
Yeah, it's even like I speak English fluently, but it's still hard for me to even. I can't.
Because like, certain words.
I never have done. I did one English track, and it's somewhere. It's never gonna be heard by anybody. But I didn't feel comfortable, like rapping in English. Like it's something that it's not my essence. You know, like I could do a few words here and there, but like a full verse or a song of English is. I don't think you're ever gonna hear that from me because it's just not my. It's not my essence. Like I don't even feel comfortable doing it.
Right.
But maybe that's an opportunity for growth. Like maybe later on I feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
You don't never know what's gonna happen later on down the road. Like you can never say never.
Exactly.
Because today you might feel some way and then the next day you're gonna be like,
exactly.
Change my mind. Where do you stand with artists? Do you think artists should get involved in politics? Celebrities?
No.
Why do you think that? And I'll give you my opinion after you're done.
I say no because it could be very contradicting and that could hurt the artist in itself.
Right.
Right? So I don't want to bring up politics. I personally do not like politics, so I don't even want to stick about this topic for too long. But now
it's election
right,
season.
Yeah, I was gonna say we in 2024. It's election season, so I was gonna say that.
Wait, literally, it's like in 2 days.
Right? Yeah, Kamala and Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you a Trump supporter, but the majority of your fan base supports Harris.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like I've seen artists endorse, right? And you know they pay you to do these things. They're gonna pay you to come in. They're gonna pay you for your time. Obviously, it's not a free gig. But I think that unless you're willing to lose money, you shouldn't get involved. Yep. Because you're going to lose money.
Yep. Either way, yep.
Like, to me, politics is a very dirty game. Probably the dirtiest there is.
Oh, yeah.
But involving yourself to that capacity could really hurt your career.
It can.
And because people are, when it comes to politics, are very sensitive.
Yes.
Are very selective. Like I could tell you I could tell you who I think is gonna win, but I'm never gonna tell you who I'm gonna vote for.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like if you ask me who you think is gonna win, I would say probably Trump is gonna win. Because that's the way that's what I'm seeing.
That's what it's looking like.
That is what it's looking like, right? But politics is a whole other subject.
I feel like it's something, like you said, it's touchy. You gotta be willing to lose the money. And as well as like, if you know how to, if you know how do you say the word? If you know how to articulate yourself in a sense to where you say it in a way where nobody gets offended, right?
Right.
I feel like artists should stand up for what they believe in, though.
Right.
Like, if you could help those who are in need, if you could support, like, you know, Palestine and all that stuff, if you could help these people that are genuinely in need, involve yourself.
Right.
But don't go out there and start, this party and that party and that party. Because at the end of the day, as an artist, unless we went to law school, we really don't have a say. We just have a platform. And the politicians use us for that platform. Right? So it's like, I wouldn't want to get myself involved.
They want to use our influence in our fan base
exactly.
to get that vote.
And that's not fair to us. Right? But I would love to use my fan base that, hey, yo, like, let's raise some attention to this of what's going on in this country. Hey, if y'all can donate over here to help over here. Hey, yo, these people need help over here. Hey, go look at this. Right. I would 100% I support that.
If you believe in the cause.
Exactly. But I don't think an artist should be up there like,
talking
hey,
about
vote
politics.
for this person. Like, it's like, no. Like, you shouldn't tell me that, because artists have such a big influence. So where it's like, yeah, they're most likely getting paid for that promotion. Yeah. And it's most likely going to work. But is that really what you believe in? You feel me? How does that make you look like as an artist if you're voting for somebody or you representing someone that's like...
The funniest shit just happened, like, with Nicky Jam. Like, he had endorsed Trump, right? And got a lot of heat. Even, I think he had a song with Mana. You know Mana, right? And they took the song down. Oh, wow. Because he endorsed Trump. And, you know, I'm guessing Mana is very anti-illegal, you know, the immigrant situation.
You can't blame him.
And, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like, if he wants to support Trump, right? Why you gotta dig into his pocket? You know, like, you're trying to say that, and this is why I tell artists not to get involved, is because now this other artist is saying you're racist and you're this and that because you support a candidate that they don't agree with. Mind you, they're trying to dictate your voting because they're taking money from your pocket. They're trying to silence you at the end of the day. Like, they're trying to put you away. And Nicky Jam fell for the trap.
Yep. And so if you think about it,
he ended up taking his endorsement back.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Not knowing that it makes him even look worse. Yeah. Because we know why you're doing it.
Yeah. And
your
now
pockets are hurting.
Exactly. Yep.
You feel me?
And low key steps on your amendments and your freedom, right? Although, like, technically,
you allow people to dictate if that's what you believed in. If you're gonna commit to saying that, then stick with that, bro. Because at the end of the day, if he wins the election,
he does. No, you don't.
You know.
Personally, me, sometimes when it comes to elections and stuff like that, they put you in a position to where it's like you have to vote for either or. I don't support either or. You feel me? Yeah. But if I know that this person's gonna run it this way and this person's gonna run it this way, I'm like, all right, well, which poison do I want at this point? At the end of the day,
who's the better equipped?
At the end of the day, I'm not too educated on the electoral system or anything, but I do know for a fact that the only thing that matters to the U.S. citizen votes is the representative of our party, right? But it's our choice to see who represents us. Yeah. And that's when things get more complicated, and that's when I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, there's processes that people don't understand.
It's a process. It's a process, and then the media keeps it covered, right? So, like,
yeah, the media is definitely not honest.
Yes, the whole Diddy situation. I saw Diddy coming back up on the media, and I looked at my friend, and I was like, something's going on with the electoral process. And they were like, what makes you say that? And I was like, because every time the media brings up something crazy about a celebrity, they do it on purpose. Go look at what's going on in the election. Go look at what's going on in the world right now. I was like, let me pull up the news right now. And then I see all this crazy stuff happening, all this debates, all this stuff that the media has it under here because everyone's too worried about who Diddy's raping right now. Yeah. You feel me? But it's like, in reality, someone's about to be voted to president and nobody's paying attention. Yeah. Our next president's about to be put onto the table and nobody's paying attention. You feel me?
It's been very weird lately.
It's crazy.
Like the way they chose her. There's a lot of questions about her ethnicity.
Yes! At least we know Drew's white.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of hypocrisy going on. Yes. You know, in terms of, you know, the standards being held you know, to the parties.
And
it's like a lot of people are opening their eyes about that, and they're seeing things for what they really are. Like they're seeing that the news media are not being honest, they're not reporting the truth.
Yep.
They have agendas. Everything is just, it seems like everything is rigged, you know, but it is what it is. It's for you to identify that. And if you want to live in your bubble and say no, great.
Right.
I respect that. That's your right. I'm not the one to be like, yo, you're crazy for doing this. I think that's wrong, because everybody should have the right to think the way that they think.
Yes.
You know, I shouldn't be the one to change your thinking. That's up to you.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that the people that do that judge other people based on who they think they should vote for, is fucked up.
It is. That's like me judging you based off of your religion.
Right. So it's like, oh, you voting for Trump? Oh, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And we could have a 10-year relationship.
That's crazy.
And it's
to me.
like, what? Like I seen these happen. Like, this is real.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that this is called the United States of America. The Statue of Liberty was made to be able to welcome immigrants, people from different societies, different cultures, different religions. This country was literally made by a whole bunch of slaves and immigrants and people who were under the power of the United Kingdom leaving so they could be free, right? So for U.S. citizens to judge each other and to be able to cut each other off based off of religious views and political views is the most contradicting and hypocritical thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it's like, we literally made this country for everyone to be free in their own way. In my opinion, you could be a devil worshiper, like, and that's like on you. Like, I don't care. As long as you don't come to my house,
to me, yeah,
as long as you don't disrespect me, try to sacrifice me, disrespect my kids, or do anything to step on my toes, we're okay.
You wanna know what's funny that you bring about Satan? That's what they call it, Satanist?
Satanist, yeah.
A lot of people have the perception that religion is you're worshiping the devil. And I saw this interview with a Satanist, and that's not the case. They don't worship the devil. They just think that they are whatever they want. Like if I say I'm a god, then I'm a god. That's how I'm gonna approach.
If you're a vampire, you're a vampire.
Like
that's weird.
They think that they are they could be anything within that world. And I was like, damn, that's interesting, because I thought it was just like worshiping the devil, being bad people.
Me
but
too.
This was a decent person.
Okay.
Like perfectly decent person.
And you know what?
And he just explained like certain things about the religion, and he just, a lot of shit nowadays is like based on not having that education.
That makes
regarding
sense.
the subject.
That makes sense, you saying that, because again, I don't want to get really too deep into this because it's really contradicting, and I do apologize if I offended anybody about like the electoral stuff, but
as in, we're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking. Saying about that is like, you saying that makes complete sense to me, because like if you look through it in a spiritual perspective, like I don't know if you know anything about quantum physics and stuff like that, but scientifically you can be a god. I don't even want to sound like that, but scientifically
it's all here, really.
Yeah, we are a reflection of the universe. Like if you go to a scientist, like technically they're gonna be like, yes, that's possible. So you saying that, I'm like, that actually makes sense.
But if you really think about it, it works like that with anything. Like anything is based on your mind. Like if you think you're an artist, then you're an artist. You're gonna do everything that pertains to being an artist. It's really all here. So it's like everything starts at the mind.
Yes.
You know, and like if you believe that, then that's what's gonna be. Yes. Like it's how long is it gonna take before people believe what you're trying to do? That's really the question. So it's like, that's a question that I ask myself every day, like, how long is it gonna take? But it's like, it could happen any day.
Exactly, yep.
It could happen any day. Like, one day you could be here broke, and the next day, boom, you blew up.
Yep.
And that's how it is in the music business, or any business that you're trying to do, like, money for yourself independently. Like, you could be working for 6 months straight and not see a penny. And on the 7th month, boom, it blows up.
Yeah. It's all about, being true to yourself, sticking to yourself, being respectful. Respect is the biggest thing, right? Like I said, you live in a country where it's like it's literally your right to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You feel me? Just have fun, dog. I tell everybody this all the time. Do not make music if you want to make money.
Right.
Because you're gonna spend 99% more than that 1%. You're not gonna make no money back. Right? The long nights, the investing in the shows and the videos and everything. If you do it because you want to make a bag, then don't be an artist, be a manager, be an investor. Do this because you really love it. So definitely, yes. If there's one thing that y'all take from this podcast is that if you make music, do it because you genuinely, deeply have a passion for anything.
And that you love
don't do anything.
And that you love the process.
Yes.
Estamos aquí con Nova Shout. We're here with Nova Shout. Este podcast ha sido presentado por Pan for Pan Productions y mi nuevo álbum EP, Germination Parte 1. Por favor, tírate a ver ese EP que está duro. Tenemos desde reggaetón, Jersey Club, Dembow, Latin Trap, lo que sea. Está todo ahí para que lo disfrutes. Me dejan saber qué piensan, ¿ok? ¿A dónde te pueden seguir, Nova?
Me pueden conseguir por Nova Child en Instagram, en Snapchat, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, cualquier lugar me puede encontrar por Nova Child.
Entonces, algo que le quieras decir a tus fanáticos en cuanto, like words of encouragement, like according to what you've been through, something that you think that you can pass to them.
The last thing you lose is faith. Lose everything. Lose your friends, lose your car, you lose everything. Let everything be taken from you, and that's okay. Last thing you lose is faith. Just know that God always do everything for a reason, and God will always provide. The day that you lose your faith, that's when you can say you lost it all. But that's the last thing that you gotta lose, and that's the best advice I could give to anybody.
Estoy de acuerdo con eso. Yo pienso que we don't fail until we give up, right?
Amen.
Like the moment you give up, that's when you could call yourself a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So until you keep fighting, at some point you're gonna get what you want to get, and from that it's just maintaining that position. I think it's as hard to maintain it. Yeah,
it definitely is because it's discipline.
It takes time to get there. Excuse me, but it takes also a lot of work to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's gonna be certain expectations about you and all of that. But it was great having you.
Thank you for having me.
You as a very fucking first guest in Quality Control. But good things are coming after this, so stay tuned. Follow us on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can also subscribe to our channel on Quality Control with Jermo G. We'll really appreciate it. We're having great content, more great content coming. Follow Jermo G. Jermo G official to all of that, YouTube, whatever you think of, I'm in there. All right, just put it like that. I'm everywhere. All right, so all you gotta do is type my name, Jermog, and trust me, Google me, bitch. You'll find me. Right?
Google them. All right, don't sleep on them.
So with that being said, Nova Child, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure. It was a
blast. And see you on the next one. Peace.
El mejor libra por libra, baby. Quality control with Jermo G. Quality control.